Alder Bernstein.
Here.
Alder DePula.
Here.
Alder Holmquist.
Here.
Alder Moore.
Here.
Alder Wood.
Here.
Alder Rademacher.
Here.
Mayor O'Connor.
Here, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from November 14th?
Second.
Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. We have one appearance tonight. Officer Andrew Hoffman, if you'd like to come up to the mic here, Officer Hoffman. You would like to speak for informational purposes only.
Yeah, I just want like 2 seconds. Speaking on behalf of the union, I just happen to be on duty, that's why I'm here in uniform, but speaking on behalf of the union, I wanted to take a second to publicly thank Neil and Mark, wherever he went, for the time that we put into the time that went into our union negotiations this year. We had a really good experience with both those guys. It was good. So I wanted to say thank you publicly. But also I want to take a second to thank this council for the time and the energy that was put into getting this referendum passed on behalf of the union. I feel like we would have been having a very different conversation had that not passed. So thank you guys. Neil, I sat in on the listening session. You took some heat. So thank you guys seriously for everything that all of you guys did. It means a lot as a union, the effort that was put into, keep the city going in the right direction. And then from a K-9 unit perspective, I want to thank Alder DePula for our most recent fundraiser we did at his restaurant. That was great. I really enjoyed that. Jocko got some good exposure and got a lot of love from a lot of people. He sat inside and was just getting petted the whole time, so he was loving it. But that was good. So thank you so much for that effort that you put into that.
My pleasure.
So just thank you guys.
Okay, you're very welcome. Thank you. We are going to move on to public hearing to receive public input regarding the proposed 2025 operating budget. Is anyone here to say anything about the 2025 operating budget? Have you heard from anyone, Neil? Or?
We have not.
I don't see anyone in the room anyway.
I guess we need to officially declare the public hearing open. And then
Okay.
close it, I suppose.
All right, well, I will officially declare the public hearing open. If anyone would like to share their thoughts about the proposed budget.
I think we usually do 3 asks. It's obnoxious, but.
Oh, I don't think we've done that before, but
I was gonna say, I think that's appropriate
that's the
to
second
ask.
ask. If anyone would like to share their thoughts about the proposed operating budget.
And one more. but-
And we'll ask one more time, if anyone would like to share their thoughts about the proposed 2025 operating budget, now's your chance.
Nobody
Okay.
online, Mayor, just for the record, there's no one attending virtually either, so.
All right, well, hearing none, I will declare the public hearing closed. Moving on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Consent agenda is approved. Moving on to council action items. Under number 1, under unfinished business, consideration of resolution 24-11. Just a minute, my screen is going crazy on me. 24-11-2751, adopting the 2025 operating budget and establishing a tax levy, put forth by Mayor O'Connor. Is there a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we will now go through the budget amendments before we do a final vote. The first operating budget amendment, is there a motion to approve this? It's an amendment to decrease library county aid revenue by $20,868 to actual and to offset the decrease by increasing transfer from tourism by $20,808. Is there a motion to approve this?
Move to. Second.
Mark?
Yeah, this was the first 3-year kind of mistakes we caught. Realized after the budget was proposed, the aid for the county revenue should have been, Ryan had it correct, I just put it in wrong. Should have been decreased by $20,868. So decrease that to offset it. Tourism, based on the performance of this year and last year, able to increase that by 20,868. So the net effect on the levy is 0 for that. So that's what that's related to.
And when you say you're transferring it for tourism, that's because the
Transfer
city
the tourism
actually
to the
gets
general
more of the
fund.
money from that fund
Yeah.
this year than,
Yeah. So we used to be grandfathered in. We still are grandfathered in, but we still get the higher the split, 70-30 split.
any questions? Do we need to roll call for,
Not, no, not for a minute.
no, okay. If there are no questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Amendment number 2, amendment to move 3,000 of library vending machine to library room rental. The library will no longer offer a vending machine. Also, room rental was under budget by $3,000. Is there a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve?
You know, go ahead.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Mark?
This is just another one, the cleanups. Cleanups is the vending machine, like I said, is no longer going to, they're phasing that out. And room rental was under budget by the 3,000, so it's a net effect of 0.
Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Amendment is approved. Number 3, amendment to adjust senior center wages to actual. This is another cleanup.
Correct, the senior center
Amendment,
was
right.
put in the wrong number.
Is there a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Second.
Mark?
Again, this is, was put in incorrectly, so cleaning that up. We did use the offset that, we did increase interest income, so it'll affect a later on amendment, but that's what we used to offset it.
Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, amendment number 4, an amendment to increase the library materials budget lines by a total of $9,000. The funding is coming from increased interest income. Is there a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Alderwood, do you want to?
Sure. So this amendment would increase the lines for library materials by $9,000. There's this breakdown there in the materials. It essentially accounts for inflation over quite a number of years. It's been pretty stagnant, except for the book lease line, so.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Amendment number 5. Amendment to apply $400,000 from the fund balance to reduce the levy for debt service from $4,070,818 to $3,670,818. This will reduce the mill rate for the combined city levy from 6.80 to 6.58. Is there a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Alderwood?
Right, so by applying this additional fund balance to reduce the levy for debt service, the increase as a result of the budget and the passage of the referendum would be $597 instead of $696 on a median home, and it would still leave us over 22% in the general fund balance.
Questions?
Only a comment. I just
Mhm.
want to thank Alders Wood and Moore for bringing this amendment forward.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And our final amendment, number 6, amendment to the interest income line to increase that by $50,000 from $100,000 to $150,000. Is there a motion to approve this?
Move approval.
Second,
And this was also proposed by Alderwood.
and more.
And more.
Mhm.
And, oh, I
Uh,
don't have her name on this one.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
it's on there.
it's on there. Yeah.
I've got my old printout. Okay,
Yeah, so it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Basically, we got 300,000 this year, or we're anticipating that's the year-end number, and even with interest rates presumably continuing to decline, they're not going to go down that much. So I think it's a more realistic and still conservative number.
any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have the staff either here or online, the department heads. If you have any questions about any other part of the budget, does anyone have anything they'd like to have clarified or ask the staff? Okay. Well, then I guess I will call the question on approving the operating budget as amended. All in favor, well, we should call the roll for this one, I guess.
right.
Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alder DeBula.
Aye.
Alder Holmquist. Aye. Alder Moore.
Aye.
Alder Wood.
Aye.
Alder Rademacher.
Aye.
Alder Bernstein.
Aye.
Budget is approved. Thank you all.
you, everybody.
Yay.
I just want to say I have one little here.
Oh,
Right here. It's instead of 597, it's with all the rounding ended up being 600, so per average house.
Oh,
So it's off,
Oh.
rounding is $3.
Up by $3.
okay.
Okay.
Just want to make sure.
And is the mill rate still the same
Yeah,
then?
everything 5.8.
Okay. All right. And Mark, could you just explain, we will send this information to the county, correct?
Yeah,
And
so.
combine it with
you have
information from
actually
the other
technically-
taxing
You
districts?
actually have technically 5 days to veto the budget if you want,
Oh, okay.
but we'll send it, and then we'll send it to the county, and they do their stuff. They actually print the bills, so I'm assuming we won't be sending them out until probably Monday or Tuesday of next week by the time we get them.
So the county prints the bills, but
County
we,
prints the bills.
we take care, I've had some people ask me about that.
Yeah, the
But
county prints them all.
then they send them back and we take care of,
Yeah, we send them all out after that. So.
okay. Well, we need to do something about the letter,
We're working on it.
too.
Yeah, we have that all
Okay.
ready to
Yep.
pretty much
Yeah.
go based on.
We'll have a draft for you hopefully by
Okay.
tomorrow morning, so.
Sounds good. All right, well, anybody have any other questions for Mark about process or anything here? Okay, let's move on then to the next item. Under unfinished business, item B, consideration of ordinance 11-24-782, amending chapter 473 of the Code of Ordinances regarding land divisions and minor land divisions, and this is put forth by the Plan Commission. Is there a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Doug?
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Second read here on the proposed changes to chapter 473, land division ordinance. Couple cleanup items sort of earlier on, and the main element to this is the addition of the minor land division that's proposed here. This would specifically impact the single and two-family zoning districts, and is really seen as a way to kind of streamline the process a little bit for the simplest of land divisions that are put forward, and really just clarifying the process and sort of deferring a little more to department heads, who can of course still take it back to their respective committees and commissions. Happy to answer any questions, but nothing has changed since the first read.
Questions, or Alder Moore, did you have anything to add?
No, except for I think that this, once explained, again, this does not prohibit Doug to bring forward any CMS that he deems is tricky or unique in some way, for which the Plan Commission's expertise would be helpful or feedback would be helpful. But there's enough straightforward CMSs here in town that it's another way for us to exercise some efficiencies, and the commission understands that, and I think we figured out in the discussion that each CMS goes through a combination of like 9 different meetings, is that right, between Public Works, Plan Commission, and City Council, and so we're not just being more efficient on the Plan Commission side, but across the board here. Yep.
Just to clarify, 3 committees, commissions, council, and then a total of 5 meetings.
5 meetings,
But
okay.
still,
Yeah.
Certainly looking to streamline from that, absolutely.
Yeah.
And those are 5 meetings that need to be staffed. too.
Correct.
So it's more staff.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Any questions, comments?
Yes.
Rick?
When does this become effective?
It would be after the posting of this. I think there's sort of a window after this goes into effect, but typically within a couple of weeks. So any new applications, anything that's in the works, we really don't have any that come to mind, but once it's posted, once it's sort of in effect, then any new application would be held to these standards.
Okay.
Moving forward.
It has to
Not
be
too long. Great.
published first, right? Aline?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yep, it's after published.
And is that in the Herald? We publish it, correct? Anything else? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doug. Enjoy all that free time you're going to have now. Moving on to item G2, new business. And this is start for immediate action. Consideration of Resolution 24-12-2757, providing for the sale of approximately $2,565,000 in taxable general obligation promissory notes, Series 2024C, put forth by the Finance Director. This was approved in Finance and Personnel earlier tonight. Is there a motion to take this out of order?
Motion to take this out of order?
I
Second.
guess, okay, before we vote, do you want to explain why this is starting?
Yeah, so
I'm
this is
sorry, I
started
should
because
ask
this is, it's required by the city to have basically authorizing our financial advisor, Jeff Belangi, to go out to the bond market. So this gives him the authorization. So we always do this step first. So we do it now, we can get it done by the end of the year.
Okay,
He'll be coming back at the next meeting with the final bond.
okay. We have a motion and a second.
Patrick has a comment.
Patrick?
I just wanted to be clear, you said, you referenced our financial advisor, our city financial advisor? Because we have a city financial advisor, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because some people have said that we don't have a city financial advisor.
We definitely
Thank you.
do have a
Yeah.
financial advisor. Okay, we have a motion and a second to take this out of order.
Who seconded it?
I think
Doug.
I did.
Doug did, yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve this?
Move approval.
Second.
Mark?
So this is a borrowing, it's a taxable note. Just so everybody knows, this is all TIF related. So it's all going to be paid back by the TIF increment over, it's going to be a 10-year note when we get it all said and done. So this is all going to be repaid back by the TIF increment. These are stuff that the council's already signed off on. So TIF 6, there's a developer's agreement with Nordpoint. That building is basically, I think it's ready to go. I think it's even opened. So part of the developer's agreement is we have to pay them $890,000. They're working with Doug Plowman right now and Bill Cole. There's little steps they have to sign off on before we pay them out. So this is, having the money ready. Once we pay them, we will pay them by the end of the year. So we need that money on hand. There's a developer's agreement related to the White Horse with the road that was put in for $300,000. There was another agreement that was approved. TIF number 6, that road is also done, and they're getting ready to sign off on all the requirements with that, the punch lists and stuff. So that will be paid out this year. There's $1.2 million for TIF 7 loan with Lake Ridge Bank. If you remember earlier in the year, we took a short-term note with Lake Ridge Bank related to the purchase of the 2 buildings on Monroe Drive in TIF 7 and the demolition. A lot of that was paid with cash up front, and this was the difference that we had to take a loan for. This will be paid back fairly quick with our income coming in about $350,000 per year. So this loan will be paid off super quick. So this is related to TIF number 7. And there's a difference about $175,000. There's borrowing costs. This is the max. This number will come down. So that's your legal, which is Quarles and Brady, your S&P review, underwriting costs, everything associated with that. So usually we get premiums and other stuff to cover it. It's a little harder with taxable ones. So this is basically your borrowing costs related to that, and that would be split between the two, TIF 6 and TIF 7.
And Jeff Belangi will have
You know, the exact number.
exact number
Yeah.
at our next
Yeah,
meeting.
this is just a max, a placeholder for now, that number.
Any questions? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item, convene in closed session under Wisconsin Statute 19.85, paren 1, paren E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session. This involves the Wisconsin Professional Police Association and firefighters Local 311 bargaining. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Would the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Holmquist.
Aye.
Alder Moore.
Aye.
Alder Wood.
Aye.
Alder Rademacher.
Aye.
Alder Bernstein.
Aye.
Alder DePool.
Aye.
We are in closed session and right, we are back in open session. Moving on to reports of committees, commissions, boards, et cetera. Alder Holmquist.
There is a public works meeting on Wednesday, and a pretty light agenda, so it'll be pretty quick.
Alder Moore.
The last plan commission meeting, we had a pre-hearing on a new development at River Place. For those people that may not know where River Place is, that's the big area directly across Monona Drive from the Red Robin, and the owners of that whole area are the developer that brought the proposal forward. And it was pre-hearing, an interesting discussion. That's all.
Nothing else?
No, nothing else.
Alder Wood.
Just to follow up on that, it's the same developers who were there 30-some years ago who
Yes.
developed it originally.
Right,
So-
exactly. That's what I was meant to say, if
Oh,
that
okay.
wasn't clear.
MPO meets Wednesday night. Not sure if license review is meeting next week or not. Looking at Aline, she may not know that either. And that's it.
Alder Rademacher.
Okay. No updates since, as far as landmarks go, nothing has changed since we haven't met since our last council meeting. Transit was pushed off. We had a no-show from, we were hoping to talk about marketing plans, and that just wasn't possible, so we'll pick that up next time. As far as sustainability goes, I know everyone's familiar with, the leaf collection season. We've been talking a little bit about some of the real creative names for the 3 leaf trucks. Those have all been announced, Facebook and social media. The other component of that public awareness contest was for children. It was a coloring contest, and the day before Thanksgiving, there was a little gathering down at the Public Works Garage on Edna Taylor where the children and their families came, and they were given a certificate, and they got to sit inside of a leaf truck, and one little kiddo got to ride in the truck, and I got to hand it to the Public Works staff. They were just so fun, and just the kids were just lit up like Christmas trees and having such a good time, and the parents were so appreciative, and they learned. I mean, we quizzed them a little bit on, what did you learn about this whole event, and I think the parents did too, so it was good for public education. Second thing of sustainability is related to some work that's going on to sort of move the city, or to see what's possible to move the city toward reaching our clean energy goals. We have a very aggressive goal of getting 100% of our energy from clean sources before 2040, I think, for city buildings. Some time ago, Thor and some other folks from the committee put out an RFP to see what it would cost to hire a consultant to create a very detailed roadmap that would really lay out everything that would be needed in order to reach those targets, those goals. And of those companies that responded, the lowest bid was $70,000. And so since that time, I've been trying to find something with a lower price tag, and talking with a number of people, and just in the name of it pays to just talk to people. Sometimes it just pays to talk. Happened to get very fortunate and ran into a grad student here in Monona who is doing some studying with the Wisconsin Energy Institute inside their Energy Analysis and Policy Division. And as a grad student, as grad students do, there'll be capstone projects coming up in the future. Long story short, a couple emails back and forth. We're now going to be setting up a meeting with some professors who have worked with other communities. One community, the city of Eau Claire, actually had a graduate student do a capstone project very similar to what we're looking for. So nothing has been decided yet, but the good news is that we just have this opportunity that we're exploring, and we'll see where it goes.
All right. Alder Bernstein
I have no report.
and Alder DePula.
Public safety is not meeting this week. No agenda items. We opted to just have the chief's input regarding that ordinance for the vapes and whatnot. That's essentially it. Other than that, no report.
Chief McMullen, did you have anything to report?
A couple of things, but I'll be brief. I don't know if it changed.
You're not reporting?
I'm not.
Don't tell him that.
Boy.
Oh, yeah. Just a couple of things. First of all, I want to say thank you. It's been a challenging year for everybody, so the work is appreciated and noted by our staff as well. The only things I've really got are, we just received a grant from Quick Trip for $1,000, which will go to purchase 2 more AEDs. I believe PD is short one still, and then we'll be adding one to the brush truck as well. So always nice to get money donated. So we'll do a press release once we actually get the check. The other thing is we do have the Santa ride coming up that we do every year. I believe it's the 18th.
Yeah, thanks for volunteering for that. Right.
We have one of our wonderful police officers that is volunteering to be Santa Claus, and we'll be taking the antique around town, and like we do every year. So.
What, do you know the time of that?
5 o'clock is the wheels up time, and we'll be announcing the route on social media.
Yeah, so
Okay,
we'll make sure to spread it around. A lot of the pre-work was done while I was on vacation a couple weeks ago, but wanted to make sure to mention it. But that's all I got.
All right, thank you. And Chief Cheney, you really don't have anything to report?
Nobody can believe it, Chief.
Mark, do you have anything to report?
No.
Aline?
Candidate packets for mayor and alderperson are available now at City Hall. Paperwork is due January 7th at 5 p.m. Notification of non-candidacy for those not intending to run is due Friday, December 27th at 5 p.m.
Alder Moore, did you have something?
Yeah, I just actually wanted to give a shout out to Parks and Recreation, because the Grand Crossing Park just looks amazing, and I can only imagine how much time and energy went in. Probably not just Parks and Rec staff, but to get all those lights up and the rink going, and it just looks really beautiful.
And it's cold enough for ice, so get out there and
it's
skate,
cold-
people.
Yeah, it certainly
That's right.
is. Cold enough for ice too, yeah. And I actually did have a question for the chief, if that's okay. I had a question for, yeah, so just, part of the consent agenda was related to this new vehicle. And I know from several friends that have electric vehicles, fully electric vehicles, that, and we know this from our hybrids, sometimes they're not without hiccups. And in the case of the full EVs, my friends have found the dealers to be mind-boggling strong in terms of the warranty, because it's still kind of a pioneer, kind of being a pioneer in some ways, and so I'm just wondering what you've heard from the dealer as it relates to taking care of that new vehicle once we get it.
Yeah, thank you, Alder. So it's backed by, I believe, up to a 10-year
Okay.
warranty for
Great.
the they say hybrid or electric components,
Okay.
the powertrain components. So
Okay.
that's pretty strong.
That is very strong, yeah.
And I did do a personal test drive of this, not the one the same model in which we would be getting, and I was highly impressed. And I come from a family who is obsessed with Tesla, the vehicles.
Yeah.
And so I've driven my share of electric vehicles, and I will tell you that this, from GM, I was highly impressed, specifically because this vehicle is geared for police driving, and I found that it is, from my short test drive, more than capable. We're setting this off to be sort of the administrative vehicle as being the guinea pig,
Right.
lack of a better term, to see if it's actually going to be dependable.
Mm-hmm.
If this sort of proves to be the case, and as this vehicle becomes more popular and it's driven more, and it's reliable as I hope it will be, we will start to look at exploring this for potentially a patrol vehicle. It's a little bit small on the back end, not for passengers. It will have enough room for passengers, but storage of equipment in the very back end, the tailgate area, is what I'm concerned about, with all the radio equipment and the PC that has to sit in the back there. But I've been, from what the manufacturer and the dealer has shared with us, I was impressed enough to ask you all to purchase it for the city. So, and you know me, I don't think I'm shy about saying I don't think that this is right for us.
Right.
So.
Thank you, and apologies for taking things out of order.
That's okay. City Administrator.
Just a few things. We will be needing a meeting on December 16th. I think that question came up earlier. We're looking at, if everything goes according to plan, we could have the Adams Outdoor lease, our contract with CD Smith, our contractor who's finalizing design for update of the City Hall building, the Top Golf Development Agreement, our union contracts, and a couple of capital purchases. So we're going to have a
Just
busy
a slow
agenda that
night, huh?
Nice slow night for that one. Just a couple of other announcements. There was a public information meeting on the Highway 51 corridor study that was held last week.
There's one a
ago.
couple weeks ago.
2 weeks
yeah.
ago.
So we're certainly encouraging residents to kind of keep an eye on that process as it goes forward. We're going to try to keep sharing information on the city's social media as it becomes available. But one, think that's kind of an important project to kind of keep an eye on as we advance some of our planning efforts. Working with, we did work with the mayor today to issue a statement, working with the Monona Community Festival about continuing the festival in 2025. There is new leadership that's coming in to kind of take on that group, and I think is kind of primarily looking to keep the event primarily as it is, and for the most part, but have already kind of pledged to work with, certainly to work with PD and to work with fire and parks on kind of having an event agreement essentially in place by the end of January. So ideally having all of those items kind of nailed down in terms of costs, of responsibilities and other things. So we're very, very optimistic. We've had a couple of very good meetings with Mr. Brian Henry already, and I think they're kind of finalizing some of their new officers that would be taking their positions, I believe, in January of 2025. So looking to try to have an agreement before council, hopefully by the end of January, to see. So we're excited to see that event continue, and we're optimistic at this point that we're going to have a good event, I think. So just an announcement. I want to bring up, make sure I get the right time and everything in here. I think we shared this today. The last day for yard waste drop-off at the Public Works Garage is going to be Sunday, December 8th at 5 p.m. They're coming on Monday morning, and the guys will be taking the dumpsters away. So Sunday afternoon will be the last time for that this year. And then leaf collection will continue through this Friday. It's kind of the scheduled time. So if you have any last shot of getting leaves out, please make note of those. And just last note, it is Snowplow Driver Appreciation Day, even though we don't have any of our guys here. And we unfortunately haven't had to call on them yet this year, thank goodness. Just a good note that's being acknowledged by the League of Municipalities, the Wisconsin DOT, and a whole bunch of other folks. It obviously a very important job that we certainly, residents certainly notice if it does not get done, that's for sure. So So just a brief acknowledgement for those folks today, Mayor.
All right.
And that's all.
I have a question.
Yep.
With the Monona Community Festival, it's the same 501c3, but it's a new set of officers?
That is my understanding, Walter, yes, they're actually, their bylaws limit them to changing their officers to only, I think, at like the end of the year. So they were kind of waiting to have that kind of be reset here at the end of this year, so.
Okay, so we're working up an MOU with them.
It'll actually be an event and facility agreement based on our park usage agreement that is used by our Parks Department.
Okay.
Will be the base document, but it will have several other things identified in terms of billing for police and fire services, the overtime like we did previously. It will have, parks responsibilities in terms of who's supposed to be doing what, and then we have actually had positive conversations with Mr. Henry about applying for tourism funds to help offset some of those costs.
This agreement will have a lot more parameter. We never really had a written agreement Yeah. with them before, which has been part of the issue.
Right.
And we will have that now. And this is, pretty much we're experimenting with this. And, if it works, great. If it doesn't, then we'll have to talk. But I mean, they feel confident that they've got enough help, enough volunteers and whatever. So we'll see how it goes. Because we'd like to keep it in the community if we could, but it just couldn't go on the way it is.
And I will say, Mayor, I think certainly when we first started the conversation, it was Brian was certainly taking on a lot of it, and kind of just him. He's certainly having conversations with other folks. Well, he certainly has. They've had, obviously, in our last couple of conversations, we've had additional conversations. He's got different people who are interested not just in coming in and pouring a beer for 2 hours on the festival day, but actually are willing to get in and be an officer and help plan and coordinate the event now, and putting in the hours and hours and hours of work that it helps to actually put in and organize the event. So,
Is one of them going to be an accountant? Because there's a lot of money that runs through that organization. And
It's up to them, probably.
Yeah. They did have an accountant up to now.
Yeah.
This is going to be on the agenda in 2 weeks,
So it's
right?
up to them legally and otherwise by state statute.
well, yeah, this was not until we're anticipating having the agreement until end of January.
In January,
Yeah.
so, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not on the agenda tonight.
No.
That's
No.
my point.
No, this is just an update, so. Anything else, Neil?
Nope, that'll be all. Yeah.
No? I don't have anything else either, so we have no appointments tonight. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.